This is where Joyent was founded, in this concrete cinder block apartment. This is where our office was. My desk was right through this window, and this was pretty common. We didn't have air conditioning here, so in the summers it would get very, very hot. This is the bathroom where John Gruber, who now writes for Daring Fireball, he was the first Joyent employee. He spent a lot of time in this bathroom. And this was our garage. Now, this garage is where the first servers actually for Joyent existed. And 4 years ago, there was a flood. And one night there was, we had a flash flood in San Antonio. There was 5 feet of water back here. And so I went running over at about 1:30 in the morning saying, oh my God, we're going to lose everything. And Jason, my co-founder at the time, he lived down in San Diego. He had seen about the flood waters and had pulled all the data off the development servers. So we did lose all the servers, but we didn't lose any data. And then so you'd come down this alley here, and then this is where we spent a lot of time in the summer because it's in Marin and it'd get really hot. We'd sit here at the coffee roaster, sort of trying to figure out what we were going to do with the Joyent cloud. So it was a real startup, started over a garage in true Silicon Valley tradition. So this is the computer that we founded the Joyent cloud on, and it was actually codenamed, I think the tag is ripped here, but it's codenamed Jill's Company. And when we launched at the second Web 2.0 conference on the launch pad, we actually had our cloud running on this computer. We quickly added a lot more servers. I mean, today we've got data centers in Beijing, in the West Coast of the United States, East Coast of the United States, Central, and we're expanding into Europe and Japan. So it's been quite a expansion from where we started in San Anselmo, then Sausalito, to where we are today in San Francisco, and all the customers we're serving. I came up with the need for this company because I finished up my last startup. I went home, I went to go install a server for myself for my new business, and it was way too difficult. I couldn't figure it out. So I said, this has to be easier. This has to be something that everyone needs. So immediately began working on a product where servers could be provisioned very easily for teams. And that's really the genesis of our product. We then sort of went to the next step, and because we hadn't raised venture capital money, we had to do this very, very efficiently as we brought the product to market. So we actually did additional infrastructure to be able to scale out the original product. And that product that was sort of underneath to do the scaling, that's what's become the Joyent Cloud. As people say, well, how were you able to scale so capital efficiently? It was really that product underneath that became what we call today Joyent Smart Machines. Always been focused on virtualizing the application and the stack that they need to run the application, whether that's Java or PHP or Ruby, and giving them a very high quality web stack to run their application, rather than saying, oh, you have to operate your application, but now you also have to operate 40 Windows boxes or 40 Linux boxes. That's just excessively wasteful for the customer. It also turns out to be excessively wasteful for the operator, in this case, Joyent. We really have a vision that in the future, as pervasive computing begins to seep out into the world, my station wagon has over 100 Intel Atom processors in it. And all that processing means there's applications. All those applications mean that they need cloud computing. If someone has to continually sort of tweak the scale of the smart data center or the virtual data center that's required for that compute, it just won't work, and we won't be able to achieve scale. So we're really focused on helping people sort of move up the stack away from full machine virtualization, dumb machines, because they really don't do anything for the customer, up towards smart computing, which is where the computing does things for you. And it's not just being dumb and just, but you can actually begin to tweak it so that it can respond to events, do things that are happening in real time to your application. That's what we think of as smart computing. I think when you think about customer service, Jason and I have always admired Southwest Airlines, and we've even, when we've gone on trips, gone to Southwest Airlines headquarters. We have photos of us in front of, the founder of Southwest Airlines, his Maserati. And one of the things that's always impressed me about Southwest is they just don't jack the customer around. If you can't make the flight, okay, here's your money back and tell us when you can make the flight. So we've tried to take that and the experience we've always gotten from an airline, in this case Southwest, and approach customer service in the same way. Now, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more complex with cloud computing than selling a seat, but the loyalty that we get from customers is higher, and it's really good business sense. Customer service is only part of it. There's another customer that I have, and that's all the employees at Joyent, and making sure that all the employees are also happy. And this is something that Jason and I, my co-founder, also learned from Southwest Airlines. If you have happy, joyful employees, we call them joyeurs, then they're going to be great with customers as well. So we spend a lot of time on both of those things, making sure that customers, we're accessible to customers. My phone number's out there on the internet. I do get calls. They're not always happy calls. I like it when someone does call and say, good job. But we try and solve problems for customers. We also try and solve problems for the people that work at Joyent, and it makes for a good mix. The ethic is to how we wanted to build our cloud computing products, and one of those things was always sort of ease of use, the ability to have a customer just use the product without a lot of effort. That'd be very friendly, that'd be very joyful, and that's part of the name as well. The Joy Enterprise is how we came up with the name Joyent, and it's worked out. When I talk to customers, a lot of our customers like our technology, they like our approach to the cloud, but they like the fact that they can work with a company that returns their phone call, seeks to help them scale their business and their application, and that's a joyful experience.